Well, hopefully you may have seen my other videos on how to pre-treat older wood, or there isn't any videos on brand new wood. And well, if you've got rid of all the various stains of various types and mould and all that, and the wood's nice and clean, and you want to now keep it that way, you've got to preserve it. So this is showing some history of what I think is my preferred preserver type. Now, there's 4 types there. They're all clear wood preservers. They're not shed stains in greens and browns and golds and creosotes and all that type of thing. Now, historically, I originally got some of this stuff. Barentines, not Barentines, Barentines. Premier, this is clear wood preserver. It's spirit based, and well, they say brush it on, but I've always sprayed it on using a proper sprayer. But this stuff didn't at the time. This is quite old now, this tin, and I'm not going to use it anymore. There's hardly any left in it. It's just I kept it for brushwork, actually, for internal wood. It didn't work as well as the cuprinol. You know, some of the staining came back, the silvering that I was trying to get rid of. So I went away from that for a few years, and I bought this one. Now this is the last, you probably can't even buy it anymore, is cuprinol's. That's also their spirit based. And what they call it, they just call it clear wood preserver. That's the clear wood preserver. That's it. And that cost a fortune, a bit like Mobile 1 is to other makes of oil. But it works. Hence this shed being in such good condition after, I don't know, 15 to 20 years of weathering. This is the stuff that kept it that way. It's supposed to last 10 years. Well, it probably does for stopping, you know, absolute rot. But I don't want any deterioration in the colour at all. So, well, it probably cost me about £100. Probably do it every 2 years these days. Because this particular building behind me, you should be able to see, as you can see from here, is a wood log cabin type design, they call it, and they can't be repaired. If that rots out at the bottom, there's nothing you can do about it. You have to completely dismantle the building right at the ground level to replace it and put it all back together again. Well, that's not going to happen, is it? So I put lots of this stuff on it. Don't paint wood. It just water gets underneath it. It bubbles up and rots. The wood gets sucked. Water gets sucked in by capillary action, and it can't find its way out those little cracks and that again. So it rots. Easy for the water to go in. Very hard for it to come out. So having bare wood, it can breathe, and it just dries out in the sunshine very quickly. But the other year, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, Cuprinol announced that they were not going to do their spirit-based anymore for ecological reasons or the environment, for evaporation into the atmosphere and all that stuff, which spirits do. So they brought out this one, which is water-based. Now, at glance, can you tell the difference? Some of the retailers didn't know the difference either, because I bought this. It was the last place that was advertising it was spirit-based. Yeah, when I got it, it said water-based. And the only way you can tell on the tin is to read. Look at the length of that statement there compared with that one. Nowhere on it does it say on the front, anyway, that it's either spirit or water-based. On the back there are some instructions, but the retailer doesn't look at that. It's cuprinol clear wood preserver, and they've always sold it as spirit based, so that's what they thought it was. But luckily I kept one back. I always buy more than I need, so I always have one tin at least to last me through the year for little odd jobs that are not spraying this great big lump behind me. But this year I also want to do the fence. This is a new fence here. It's erected this year. So I thought, I'll spray some on that as well. So I'm not happy with this stuff. I used it the other year on this. It says brush coat only. That was designed for spraying, and this was the pressure washer they designed to be used with it, which I still use. And it's a much better one than those all green ones that they sell now. This is much more robust. This is more almost a professional unit. It's very good. Now also, but what wasn't so good was the end that came with it. This is a brand new end, got it off the internet the other day, with a brass insert. See that? And it is a slit, not a hole. It's a slot, should I say. So it gives a flat, like my hand, spray pattern. So it's very good for going up and down the planks. So I'll put that on it, because the plastic one got distorted and it was, bits were spraying down here and bits were going up there, and it was very expensive stuff. I'm not wasting it, nor do I want it to miss and go over the plants, because it'll kill them. But as I said, that was the last tin I got. I'm not ordering any more stuff, so I searched the internet, and old faithfully it came back up again. Barentine's still make spirit-based wood preserver. It's also still called Premier. But this time, that just said it did mould and a few things like that. This one says it also, the same as these, or that one does, I'm not sure about this one, but it also stops blue stains. There, I'll do separate pictures of this so you can see later. And the blue stain is what I reckon is what I call silver staining. The bluey grey colours that they go. Not this stuff, not that. The previous video says it's to do with zinc leaching out. That's not, can't do that. It's all to do with mould. So, in the next stage of the video, I think I'm going to show you why I actually prefer spirit-based. Not just because this stuff clogs up these things. It's got waxes in it or something, varnish, and it completely, this bit here was all jammed up. I had to take it all apart, and it dries quicker than this does. This stuff's easy. The spirit base is easy to wash out. You just, when you finish, you either pour it back into the tin and then pour, half a pint of terps in there, or white spirit, or whatever, something like that, and spray it through, and it cleans it all out. Very easy. Water based though. No, that doesn't work very well at all. That gets stuck in all the corners, and it's a waxy or varnish or both. And it clogs it all up. Next time I came, that went down and it wouldn't come back up again. Like they clean it all out, and I was not happy. Well, another thing you might notice, as I said, these tins look the same. I actually phoned up Cuprinol or Axon or Nobel, the owners of them these days. They're not keeping on their own brand anymore. And moaned that as it's totally different, it may be for the same purpose, but if that's water based and that's spirit based, and it's got different things in it like varnish or wax, and that was just chemicals that soaked into the wood, and that's it, then they should not be called the same name. It's not clear wood preserver. It should be Aqueous clear wood preserver, or something on the tin that differentiates it. They've got exactly the same picture, almost identical reading, and no one's going to notice. It looks very much like that previous tin, so I wasn't happy and told them they should not do that. You're basically conning the customer, because that's probably a lot cheaper water based than that one is, oil based, spirit based, made from oil. Well, I don't suppose they take any notice of me. Because, well, you could say it's against the Trade Descriptions Act to call it exactly the same product when it isn't. Big companies might buy hundreds of gallons of this stuff if they to treat wood, and all of a sudden their machinery is all buggered up because it's got water in it and not spirit. Causing it no end of clogging of orifices and jets and whatever. So, anyway, that's my soapboxing over. So I'm going to use this spirit-based one. That's the last one I've got on the shed, because that's that garage, workshop, call it what you want. It's a multi-role thing, not technically a garage, it's not big enough. It was originally, but that's a special shortened version. I have to pay more for a custom-built small version. Much to my annoyance. Garden should be bigger. So that's what I'm doing. And probably this water-based one, I'll probably get rid of it on the fence somewhere. Probably on my neighbour's side, because he's in the leeward side of the wind of the rain. The rain comes this way, so my side of the fence gets and that side of the building gets all the weathering, and it gets all the sun for bleaching the sun. In the winter it gets all the rain, so it gets a double whammy. Too much sun and too much rain. Well, this side doesn't get much at all. You can probably see the difference here in the rain shadow up here by this overhang. It's much more gold than the original colour of the wood. And then as you go down, where the water's got it, it's much paler. And right at the bottom, it's a slight greyish affair. And that's where this stuff needs to be applied the most. That runs down the bottom anyway. So, what I'll do next, I think, is oh yeah, I'm going to show you applying a little bit to some bare wood, so you can see how much better, hopefully, this is, and how much the wood just soaks out like blotting paper. The water, being bigger molecules and spirit, doesn't soak into the wood as well. Half it runs off the top. I presume that I haven't ever used this before. We'll see. There's some of that as well. Because when that's used up on that, that'll be used on what's left of the fence and gates and any other wooden bits floating around this year. That'll get chucked in the bin, because I've opened it up and there's bits floating around in there, and they will block this up. So there you go. See what happens, won't we? Now I said I'll give a demonstration of how well wood soaks these products up. As you saw on one of my other videos, I know I've pressure washed this, so that wood should be nice and good for soaking it up. It agitates the surface, the pressure wash it does. So it's nice and dry now, and we will start off with the Cuprinol Clear Wood Preserver, the water-based Aqueous one. As you can see in there, but it's not clear, it's actually a golden colour. Well, it looks like urine, to tell you the truth. You haven't had enough to drink. It's like mid-amber colour. So this is water-based. I'll put it in this white one. The other ones are going to be in stainless steel ones to differentiate. I'll do this first on this bigger one here, down the middle. And we shall see. And you have to agitate it. It means get over the can and give it a damn good shake before you open it. So here we go. I should be wearing gloves, but I can't operate the camera and do all this with those things on. The camera probably won't respond to it. Can't feel my fingers. So let's see how this works. One thing you've got to notice for how quick he soaks it up is how much runoff there is. I don't know how far you can see down again. But anyway, watch that and then compare that, the amount of run per given amount, and that's literally, I'm not wiping it off to get rid of it, I literally bung it in, give it a slight shake, hold it sideways so it doesn't drip. No, it holds quite well, this brush. So it gets the full quantity on there. It's not a damp brush, it's a fully loaded brush, dipped in. So we put that to one side, and I'll do the, what shall I do next? I'll do the cuprinol, the original, the best, well, it was the best. And we'll do it on, say, that one. So, I'll pause the video a minute. So this is the cuprinol original clear wood preserver, and the colour of it we liken to, oh, urine again, but good, almost clear, slight yellow. So again, smaller brush, smaller panel. I said this one, didn't I? I can't tip this, it's not transparent. I haven't got anything like that transparent. If I drop this, it won't smash. So load the brush up, so it's fully loaded. Get the worst of the drips out. Turn it like that, sideways, and stop. If I do that, it runs. See? Turn brushes sideways, good for painting instructions as well. It holds more, like that. So, see? No drips. So you put it up like that. It should soak in a lot faster. Especially older wood. Yeah, there's not as much going down. Again. And while I'm about it, this is the best one. I'm going to do this top, because that top with a bit of bent oak or whatever it is, the edging trim for a panel actually. It stops water getting down the end grain. I'll do that, and it's good stuff. How about it? But one thing you've got to bear in mind with spirit-based preservers is on a shed, the barge boards, those ones at the end of the building, where they clamp the bituminous roofing felt, the spirit will melt the tar built into the bituminous, which the aqueous one won't. So bear that in mind. Right. So, that looks a lot different actually. Anyway, go through the motions. Now, the next one will be the new Barentines, which is what I'll end up probably using for the rest of until they stop making it, maybe through environmental pressure from the do-gooders. Okay. So this is the Barentine's equivalent of cuprinol's solvent based. Very similar, touch shade darker than theirs. Again, you have to give the tin a good shake. So we'll try on this one in this case. You notice how the aqueous one doesn't change the colour of the wood too much, but that one makes it a bit darker and a bit more golden. Mind you, it's not dry yet, but I know it does when it dries. It refreshes the pine colour a little bit. And by the way, these are not pure wood as per the shed is. These are treated wood. So they've got that greeny tinge in it from whatever the preservative that are put in under high pressure in a machine as you buy it. So that is the correct colour they come. It is this brown, it's not that golden pine colour, which the shed is. No. Again, Barentine's one. soak it up. I'm sure it's soaking it up quite as well as the Pimpernel one. But then again, this is a much coarser grain on this panel, and this plank. It does say on the instructions for the Barentine on new wood, which this isn't, that you might need 2 to 3 coats, where on the Pimpernel one, on a brand new wood, you need 2. And they must be done wet. So once that's soaked in, it's not running off, you put another coat on. This is how you do the spirit base. Or the water one, I think you're supposed to let it dry first and then put another coat on. You need to check that. So it's more important with the spirit. Because once it's dry, I think it forms a barrier and it won't continue soaking it up. It still needs to be wet to continue soaking deep into the wood. Otherwise it seals itself and it'll just run off, you just waste it. So bear that in mind and read that bit of the small print. It's important to get the maximum protection on new wood. Now, as mine's have been done a dozen times already over the years, I think only 1 coat is actually necessary just to maintain the surface, the stuff at the surface. Because weathering by rain and sun, especially rain, will probably leach it out eventually on the surface. So this just refreshes the surface where the stuff is soaked right in about, I don't know, on a solvent base. It could easily soak in, put enough on about, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch. Where the water base will probably only soak in 1/16 of an inch. I don't know, I'm guessing that. Don't hold me to it. So, there we go. Then down. And look at that for a bit. Right. I'll stop there, wait 10 minutes or whatever. And turn the camera back on so you can see how it's soaked in. The solvent is definitely soaking in better than what the Aqueous did. A little bit. But I know when you spray it on, it definitely soaks, which is obviously a finer mist, when you spray it on so it soaks it in quicker. The water more tends to lay on the surface for a little diddy bit and then soak in, not as fast. Right, wait there. Come back in a minute. Well, that's after about 10 minutes and it doesn't really look a lot different. And while I was having a quick look at the small print on some of the tins, the Pimpernel oil based, not even get it, but the Barentines are probably similar, is coverage of 1 litre per 5 square metres, not metre squared. So consider this gate about 2 square metres. 1 square metre, another square metre at the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, about almost the height of this building would be about enough for 1 litre, and you get 5 litres in a can. But also remember you need 2 coats. But interestingly, which hopefully the camera can pick up, there's a little diagram I just found on the Barentines that shows, well, basically what I was trying to show here, but this will show it better, and it's correct. I can vouch for it. Now, let's put it in front of the camera like that, and hopefully you can see it. The difference between an oil base end range, I don't know what you term you sucking it up, I suppose, and the water base, and well, you can see from it's probably creosote or something they're using, very dark, or dark shed stain, which is the same stuff with the colour added. Like all these colours here, the shed stain stuff, but the clear is the real deal. You can use that for all sorts of uses, not just on sheds and fences. You can use it for indoor use as long as you paint over it once it's thoroughly dry. Otherwise you've got potential dangerous chemicals on the surface. Slightly poisonous, I suppose. But there you go. Hopefully covers what I'm showing there. Yeah, nice bit of sunshine on it. Well, it's starting to dry off the sunshine up there. Slowly turning back to something similar to that. Interestingly, that's why I was looking at the tins, I gave each one a sniff. See what the fumes smelled like. And they actually got a lemony flavour, smell, not flavour, I'm not tasting it. So I thought there might be the solvent of limonene in them, but I can't see it listed. But it is a solvent, limonene, made from orange, lemons and oranges or something. Yeah. So maybe lots of medicines, but I saw that on the back of a few pills. Carrier agent, I suppose. Yeah. So the next bit will be actually showing you spraying a few odds and sods, not the whole building. Okay. Right, I'm up the step ladder by the barge boards. See, they're these angular things that clamp the roofing felt and give a bit of decoration on the end of the building, on the roof. I'm wandering. I'm up a step ladder, one-handed, trying to use a paintbrush in one hand and a camera in the other. To see, you can see this. This is an old, quite well-weathered wood. So you watch how this soaks in. This is the cuprinol stuff by brush. Oops, hang on, because there's the roofing felt. See, you mustn't spray all over that; it'll melt it, and you end up with tar drips all over when it runs down to the ends, and then drips all over the patio. Where are we? So I'm using those old screw fixings as an example. If I just go like that, now watch it spread. That's not running; that's soaking. It soaks in. See it spreading? Soaks along the grain very well. Look away while I'm wobbling about a bit doing this. Where's the brush? There it is. When you first got in, see it soaking in like that. End grain's the best. There's a bit of end grain up here. What's this? This just shouldn't even drip, and that's quite raw there. Let's dob it on the end of that and see. Don't want to stretch it. I don't want to fall off the blooming ladder, do I? Now, that shouldn't even run. I don't think it's run, has it? I'm just leaving the brush there. It should soak it out, pull it out the brush. That was a full brush load. Look at that. That amount's just soaked straight in. Now, it's not as good as that with water. Try another brush load. Oh yeah, look, it doesn't even run. Where is it? There. Not the most sophisticated demonstration in the world. I can't say I like being on top of a step ladder with a paintbrush in one hand and a camera in the other and not holding on to anything. Oh, that was coming out the brush, not off the wood. See, that just soaks it out like blotting paper. You can class that as old wood, well weathered. Of course, this is not a proper. I'll put this camera down in a minute and do the job properly. All right. Oh, another thing, an idea, the fixtures and fittings that I don't really want to get this stuff over. Metal bits like those hooks we looked at earlier, fine, on a different video. But things like electrical fittings, doorknobs, and plastic security lights, of which I've got a few, I've wrapped them in old cling film. Thought that I haven't got any. Plastic bags cost money these days, and then we have uses for those, so I'm not putting them over there. So I thought I'd use some old cling film, wrap it round and round and round, and hopefully that'll keep the worst off when I spray, you see. And hopefully the solvent in the stuff doesn't melt it. We'll find out. I'm going to spray this end of the building. This is a demonstration, not all of it. So first thing, an old hat. This is an old barber hat, well past its sell by date. Rubber gloves. Well, I've got two different ones. That's one left over from my body piercing activities, and that's a normal, more robust one that mechanics would wear, I suppose. And old anorak. This was actually my dad's, circa 1980s, and some old shoes. So I'm going to fill up the using the copper cuprinol spirit based. I'm going to use that on the shed. So that's like the prime bit of wood I've got. I want to use the best product for that, not the other ones. And the copper sprayer that was designed for it. See, it actually says cuprinol wood treatment pressure sprayer. This is from circa about 2000. So, big funnel. Splash. Use the tin upside down so the nozzle's at the top, so it doesn't go glug 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 and splatter everywhere. It shouldn't do. It says, as it does anyway. It's not supposed to do that. Come on. Yeah, I've used a little bit of the tin already to do these barge boards at both ends, which you should have seen me up a ladder, or at least I was at the top of the ladder. You didn't know that I was. Right. There we go. Do this on the ground, it's safer. Don't want to put too much pressure on this. That's plastic, by the way, not wood. Right, screw it up nice and tight. And pump away. And lock it in place. Lock. Let it off. As much pressure as you can, because periodically you have to pump it up again. Yeah, get this the right way up. Make sure the nozzle, the slit, it's a slit, so it's a fan, remember, like that. Not a cone, as a single hole would be. And I'll hold it. Right, and we start at the top and work down. Now I've already done the barge boards, so we can still use it for the underside. So I'll start over here and work my way across and work my way down. Underneath, do the end grain. Like that. Right, I'll start in here. Already done that bit. Well, I should really have a mask, but I can't talk to you with a mask on, can I? So if you can see that on the corner, it's all dripping off, you see. Best of to wash it up off the patio later with hot soapy water, and a broom disperses it around. Makes the spiders come out of the woodwork. I'll tell you, if there's any in there, I'm not keen on it. I'm not keen on spiders. You can see it in the Try not to breathe too much of it in. Don't want to breathe any of it in, but there you go. Put it like there. Look at that. I'll back off every now and again, let the spray go away. Pump it up again. Right. There we go. Right, and do it properly now. Hang on. Start up there, I suppose. Behind here. Always a big spider going up. He didn't like it. We put rid of those things, that one. Another one coming down here. Yeah. See? The bottom here is more important than anywhere else. That's where the water hangs about, obviously. You can see there. So go in at an angle, then it gets both surfaces at once. Remember to go underneath the bottom bit, right at the bottom. Blocky thing. Still easy. Doors. Half overlap, so the width of the spray is overlapping the previous one. It's not that accurate, you can get a perfect alignment down at an edge. Yeah, I see, even now, it's down to there, it was up there, even on just one side, we've used half a can. I think I finished that one now. Yeah, I'll reserve the rest of this for the front, but that's the one that gets the most damage from the weather. Too close there, isn't it? So, and it's not too much down the bottom there. It is dripping down if you look. There's a wet drip, 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 slowly. But luckily there's no tar, as in the black pools you get here on that corner when if you do just spray the roof, would melt the tyre, they go along the seam and drip down there into a little black puddle down there, which you don't want. That'll do for that one. I'm pretty sure I don't need to take the coverings off, so I could do that. Better let it dry a bit anyway, so it gets a bit sticky. Otherwise you're going to get it all wet on your hands, and don't want that in our pit, but it isn't. Once it starts to dry, it is quite sticky because it is obviously got some chemicals in it. Anyway, so there we go. Forgot to mention, as this is spirit based, and you get it on windows, there's windows down the side there, glass. This stuff does dry like a clear varnish in effect. It's difficult to remove, so have some kissing roll or something similar and some ready to go white spirit, and wipe them quickly after you've done it while it's still wet to get the worst off. And that goes for any other fittings if you want to clean them. I don't bother with those, but the ones I don't want to get on, obviously got masks. The rest of it isn't that important. You don't want it on the windows and things like that, so have some ready to go.